Alright, hey, what's up everybody? It's Dave B734 and I got a not really crazy and even hard to fathom type of news. I just wanted to bring it to people a little bit for those who didn't really ever hear this, but a couple years ago there was actually scientists that were conducting a little bit of research in the area of the Bermuda Triangle. They claimed to have found an actual pyramid standing upright on the seabed that's never been discovered before. Um, really crazy. This comes from the UK. You could do a little bit of research and actually figure this out yourself. It'd take you 10 minutes to figure it out. But in the UK, which was all over the news for a while, that there was actually scientists again conducting a little bit of research in the areas of the Bermuda Triangle. They claimed to actually literally have found a pyramid standing upright on the seabed floor, and it's never been discovered until a few years ago. There's actual results that show that the actual structure is made of glass or glass-like material, possibly even pure crystal. Um, it's entirely smooth and partially translucent. Uh, it's a gigantic structure, perhaps even larger than the Great Pyramid over in Egypt. This was initially talked about by a doctor in the 60s, but since then, obviously, more than 50 years have passed. An independent research team verified this. It was through France and the USA. It was a research team put together, and they verified this. I believe it was in 2009. That this is nothing new. This is very ancient. It's been around way longer than these pyramids. That's actually in Egypt, still standing. They're still underwater. This is nothing even shouldn't be shocking, because, and if you could do a little bit more research in Japan, there's actually underground structures under the water by the seabed floor that are considered ruins now, and they still are very much a mystery today. Um, yeah. So really, the length of this thing, its base, it's 300 meters, 200 meters high, and the distance from the base of the tip, the very bottom of the base to the tip, is about 100 meters above the seabed floor. Crazy, I know. Um, there's actually Bermuda Triangle researchers theorized for years um, that there's a very strange energy source exists at the bottom of the sea in that area, that affects the planes, the ships, and the boats affected by this thing, from an energy source that makes the water around it volatile, causing huge earth waves and mists on the seafloor, and basically do this to the water. With these huge waves, they create a vortex and suck these things right underwater. That's why there's been hundreds of boats gone missing, and there's actually been planes. It's well documented, where they've actually flying through the clouds, and it was through the Bermuda Triangle. They were flying through the clouds. Now I want you guys to know that the Bermuda Triangle is actually very large. It's not small. If you know how big the Bermuda Triangle is, it goes from Miami all the way down, or excuse me, all the way up to Bermuda and all the way down to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and that makes the triangular structure. It's very large. But there have been planes that's actually flew through there, and you could go to Unsolved Mysteries. National Geographic's documented these, and there's other things in the future that I'll do some more type of vlogs on, that a little bit different out of my realm, but I definitely am open-minded. There's things that I do believe in, some I'm skeptical about, but when they have proof, you really can't argue with this science. That there's been planes that's flown, and these clouds completely turn into a cigar shape. The planes fly through them, and they get to their destination 20 minutes before schedule, 30 minutes before schedule. Some never make it there at all. Some of them always, well, not always, but a lot of them have reported that flying through these at certain times and certain seasons or times of the year, it actually completely messes their whole compass up and they get lost. They can't radio in for some reason. They can't radio in and talk to their people back at the homeland. They can't radio in, do none of this type of stuff, because again, that they believe that there's some type of energy source coming up through this pyramid, and everything around it is being affected. And it's really weird is the speculation that the Bermuda Triangle and the area where the pyramids are located is might even be, it's again, this might be kind of weird, but again, this is stuff that's biblical, that the Atlanteans, this is a holy ground for the Atlanteans, that protect this area, and whatever crosses over its path is considered an offering. Now myself, I have a little bit of Native American in me, and there are burial grounds you don't want to mess with. Strange things happen to these people that mess with these areas and they want to develop on it. Reported of poltergeists, all kinds of crazy stuff. So again, I'm very open-minded when it comes to this stuff. And when I said biblical, if you do a little bit of research and read about Atlantean people, they were actually giants. And I'll talk about giant bones and stuff that's been discovered, actually undug up, and they actually have these in other countries. And you can even do a little bit of research on it yourself, so when I come back and do a vlog on it, you'll understand a little bit what I'm talking about, and it's not as crazy. But these Atlanteans were actually supposedly giants, and I'm not talking like, 8-9 feet tall. I'm talking like 30 feet tall or so. And being biblical, if you believe in biblical stuff, that if you know about David and Goliath, well, Goliath was a giant. So speaking about giants shouldn't really even be discredited or laughed about or nothing like that if you believe in biblicalology, because again, Goliath was a giant. David took him down, and they're not talking he was 8 feet tall. This guy was a giant, literally 40 feet tall. So Atlanteans were giants if you do a little bit of research and figure this stuff out for yourself. I'm not telling you to believe it or even saying that 100% I believe it. I'm just telling you what I've discovered by doing a little bit of research from the United Kingdom. But yeah, it's Dave B734. I just wanted to bring this up to you guys. Actually, even there's a few other researchers that claim that this it can contract and collect cosmic ray energy field or a quantum vacuum. And it may have been used as an Atlantean power plant of sorts. And when I say power plant, that really shouldn't even be something as far as joking, laughed about or even discredited or anything, because if you do a little bit more research about the Great Pyramids over in Egypt, they actually had made and found, these guys came up with a way to light these tunnels, not with obviously flames, because when there's really not a whole lot of oxygen there, the flames will go out like that. Especially when you get in some of them other smaller caverns. But they have energy sources that actually lit up the pathways, and they made light bulbs. Freaking weird, man. I know if you never really studied this kind of stuff, but do a little bit of research. It's Dave B734. I just wanted to bring about the topic that there's been crystal pyramids, very large ones found, or very large one found at the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle, the seabed floor, bigger and higher than the Great Pyramids in Egypt. Fact, not fiction. But again, Dave B734, man, y'all like and subscribe. I'll talk to you. Have a good one. Leave a comment or something.